Take it away, Sean. Welcome back to another From Corner to Corner podcast. Sean, Neal, Adam, Coach Collier, and Darren here tonight.
Look what I can do. Look what I can do.
Look what I can do. Look what I can do.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Sean. Hey, Sean.
Coach filling in for the
Are we there yet?
tonight.
Are we there yet?
Coach with his Fire Cow shirt on.
Hey.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Sean.
Sean Watts.
It's episode 237. Make me turn this car around.
237.
237, Sean. Episode 237.
237.
Why is Kraus never here when I'm here? Is that
I don't think he likes you.
He doesn't. He actually told us,
Did he tell
me and Darren last night,
He said, I don't like Collier.
I'll never show up when Mark Collier's on.
He went to
What'd
the
he say?
softball game last night just so he didn't have to be here tonight.
Yeah, because he knew you were going to be here.
Word for word.
Verbatim.
and
Coach, did you
don't
listen?
think you're joking?
Sorry.
We're good.
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir.
Did I speak out of turn?
No. I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir.
Hey, I got a joke for you.
Okay, tell us a joke.
Calipari, is that the joke?
Yeah. Hey, so, did you get to listen to our Saturday show last week?
No, I had other things to do.
What is more important than listening to our Saturday show?
I got up, went to the restroom, went back to bed.
I get it.
I mean,
you can play it any day, right? It's not just Saturday mornings that you can listen to it, right? It is a podcast.
Hey, Coach.
yes.
How do you feel about Sean having a Menifee County hat?
That's the real big key right there.
Sean has a Ashton Barrett autographed jersey.
Sean, I don't know about this, but you can't wear that jersey.
That's
who
not
are you
fair.
taking right now? On the spot.
On the spot.
For what?
Ashton Barrett or Caitlin Clark?
Oh,
Peyton Burgess.
Ashton, obviously.
Peyton Burgess.
Peyton Burgess is who he's going to take.
Ashton. I got her autograph.
Peyton Burgess. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pretty
right
sure
now,
that
your loyalties. When you all come to the Bath Menifee County game next year, are you wearing red or are you wearing green?
Peyton Burgess.
He's wearing green. I can promise you he's wearing green.
Look, Coach,
I'll be in red.
I'll wear no colors because
I'll wear no shirt, Coach. If you want me to, you want me to paint my
Right.
body?
Will you put a C on your chest?
what's the C for?
For Collier?
Oh,
Oh, let's go. What's
I was
wrong
like,
with
is that a Clark County C?
That's not enough of us to get COLLIER on there. I don't know. I got enough landscape. I can probably get two.
I was getting ready to say you and I are pretty wide. We can get at least two or three.
COLL.
So you'll be in green, you'll be in red.
And I don't see color.
So what are you going to be in?
I may just show up in my neutral gray.
No.
Too sweet.
No, he's going to be in green too.
They blended right in with Brown. But they were cheering for us.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
And we talked with Coach Schwartz on our coach's show.
What did he say about that?
He confirmed that we were cheering for the right people.
He never said that. Did he say that?
He did say that.
He said,
literally on video.
he said he looked over and saw you were sitting across from him. Never said who you were cheering for.
I think you're wrong because he said it.
We got to play back.
Can we get playback?
Can we do?
I mean, we can
replay?
fact check this, just like the presidential debate.
Yeah.
Holy Snopes!
It's there. So
We can go to Snopes.com.
it's there. So anyway, let's move on. Segment number 1
Hey,
tonight.
Coach, I got a
You wanna
joke for
cover
you.
that?
Go ahead, 'cause I got one. Hey, and thank you guys for having me back again. What episode are we on?
237! I kicked Sean. That's how excited I was.
That hurt. He's just happy because he's been on 231, 233, 235, and now 236.
I think if I can get 4 more, that I'm going to be like a alternative instead of just a guest.
Well, I'm telling you,
alternative.
You theoretically are. I mean, you've shown up.
Theoretically, though. Not really.
Not really.
Not really. Just
Theoretically.
theoretically.
Basically, if you were on a schedule, you would be sub 500. Okay? So we'll play you. We'll play you, but, you know.
It's a dub.
He's been here more than the
grab that
Brett
shovel
last
out of
month
his
and a half,
hand.
so.
Because he is nowhere near getting that jersey.
No, he's not
back.
going to do it.
He just keeps digging that hole deeper and
That's my
deeper.
I can't believe you let him hold the bot.
Are you going to say the joke or what?
What joke?
You said, "Hey, coach, I got a joke," and then he said he had one, and then you all somehow managed to.
He didn't just let him
throwing arrows
hold
at
the
me.
basketball.
They were bouncing.
He let her throw it in the
I didn't
floor.
let them do anything. I wasn't nowhere close to them.
The picture don't lie. son.
It
I was
actually
not
made me sick, Coach.
It turned like I had to turn away. It turned my
He's the
stomach.
one that handed her the basketball.
Who's the one in red? I mean, who are you going to blame?
I almost vomited.
Shut up. Are you going to say the joke?
I don't have a joke. Why
Why do you keep saying that?
Because you literally just said, "Coach, I got a joke for you."
Did I say that?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think I said that.
I didn't hear it.
Segment number one.
Nothing.
Coach, you said you had a joke.
It's not the time.
Okay.
Sean's
All right.
not very happy right now. Let's
No.
move on.
Okay.
Let's go segment one.
Segment one. Segment one.
Well, segment one is the joke. Cal must.
Hey, I got a joke.
Too late. Cal must go.
Do you know what you call
Segment two. Cal really must go. No, I mean he must go. Okay.
So if y'all are going to talk
Where's he
about
going to
Cal,
go? Like number 2?
I don't care where he goes.
I'm going to
As
stay
long as it
silent
ain't
for
in
most of
Kentucky.
this time because I'm not a Kentucky fan. So I'll just let you all voice your frustrations, and I'll just sit here and enjoy every bit of it.
All right, let's start with the president of the John Calipari fan club, Sean Kuiper.
Cal must go. He's got to go.
What's he going to go do?
I don't care. He can go plant
Tulips.
potatoes. I don't care what he's going to do.
Why? Why do you think he has to go?
I believe it's obvious. He's not going to win at Kentucky. Only thing he's worried about doing right now is putting guys in the NBA, and 90% of the guys that come to his team are going to the NBA anyways. So all he's doing is earning these accolades. I'm glad we're on video. Earning his accolades for, I'm putting these guys in the NBA. When you look at the list, how many guys that have been on his team were not going to go to the NBA that he got to the NBA? It has to be less than 10.
Josh Harrelson's the first one that comes to mind.
Right.
And he's probably the only
But he played overseas and had a really good career.
Right.
He wasn't a Cal guy before he got there. Cal got him overseas.
No, Billy Gillespie made him
Right.
sit on the toilet during a halftime.
Very true.
You know what I mean? Like, he takes credit for Patrick Patterson. Patrick Patterson was going to the NBA prior to the year with Cal.
He probably would have been a higher draft pick, actually, because he'd have been more focal point of the offense.
We've had a lot of disagreements before this show was even aired, but I cannot stand with you on your side enough for this segment.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't. Whatever darts they're going to throw, I will step in front
I mean,
of you, my friend.
it's just the fact that,
Remember, he supported Menifee.
you know, shut up.
You got to remember that,
You got to.
especially if you're taking darts for the guy.
Yeah,
I'll stand beside you.
I mean, if you're going to take darts for somebody, you at least want to root for the
Look.
same team.
In the district tournament, I wore a neutral color shirt.
Why don't you wear red?
So, because I don't.
I
have
would have wore red.
I don't have a.
We
red,
could have been a
red
podcast
quarter
divided.
Podcast shirt.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
Supporting
Nebraska
both.
shirt.
And a red
Friends
Nebraska
of the
hat.
show.
Oh, it's the podcast. You promote the podcast.
Cal's got me fired up.
Yeah.
Basketball season's over as far as I'm concerned. It was over that night y'all quit cheering for us.
Yeah.
So
And you agreed. Baited you, and you agreed.
Why? Because you didn't play sub 500.
On purpose.
and actually round was if we wanted they were sub 500 at that time.
That's
we
true.
played them. So,
So, I mean, your dream came
I'm
true.
sure you got a joke now. Go ahead.
Nope. No jokes. No jokes.
My problem with Calipari, I think this is Calipari's problem. Kentucky is a brand. Agree or disagree?
Agreed.
Before Cal was there, Kentucky was there. We won championships before Cal. We had guys in the NBA.
Haven't won many since, Cal. I'm just throwing
We've
that out.
won
I'm going
one.
to be quiet again.
I think you definitely had to have two. I'm going to say possibly three with the talent you've had.
The
Cal's problem.
Wisconsin year and the
One of the
UConn year. Yeah.
You have to. No, I'm sorry. Calipari thinks his brand is bigger than Kentucky, and he thinks Kentucky needs the Calipari brand. Kentucky doesn't need the Calipari brand. He has lost sight of that. And when he said that with the John Wall year, that this is the best day in Kentucky basketball history, we had 6 players drafted. No, the best day is when we hang banners.
Yep.
Then he said, I'm trying to get all my kids to the NBA. No, that's a byproduct of winning championships. You don't just come to coach kids to get them to – your job as a college coach at Kentucky is to hang banners, win championships. They go to the NBA, that's a byproduct that you sell.
Yep.
So let me get this straight.
I mean, Daniel Orton, even on the show,
You don't get it straight right now.
Daniel Orton, when we had him on,
We had Daniel Orton.
he even said that he was coming to Kentucky
With the
regardless
Cal.
of who the coach was.
He was
Because of the
recruited by
brand.
Billy G.
He was recruited by Billy G. He was coming to Kentucky. Calipari just come and met with him and was like, "Yeah, coach, I'm coming because I was already coming to Kentucky." You know,
His exact quote was, "I'm a winner, and how to better myself than to play every day with elite players."
Yep.
And that's
Yeah,
why he came.
absolutely. And it's like it's somewhere along this path, Cal has lost his way. Like
His
20,
ego.
I guess you go back to what, about 2015?
Ego.
That's my thing, coach.
I
Is
will
ego.
argue the 2020 season, they got canceled by COVID with Quickly and
Maxie.
That team was good enough to win the net, and they were clicking at the right time. And if they win, if they make the Final Four that year, this conversation is not being had.
That's what I was going to say. If they had won it that year, would we even be having this conversation?
The conversation would not be had.
Well, in the probably not, but in the grand scheme of things, in the last 4 years, you go back and you look at the last 4 years of each of the Kentucky coaches. Cal has the worst record of any previous Kentucky coach in their last 4 seasons
126 games, right?
of 126 games. He's 60-46.
When you give a man a lifetime
Patino
contract,
lost 16 games in his last 126.
absolutely, Ricky Peak and coach.
Yeah.
You give a man a lifetime contract, he loses the chip off his shoulder. What are you fighting for? A hungry dog is going to fight to eat.
See, but he was a hungry dog when he first came. You remember the press conference when he got hired that he asked Ellen every single day, did Kentucky call today? Did Kentucky call today? But he brought in that first recruiting class, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Eric Bledsoe, and Daniel Orton and the boys.
And you're off.
And John Wall goes into Kentucky lore the first game he ever played at Rupp Arena by hitting a game winner against Miami, Ohio. We forgot that we've struggled since Cal's been here against teams that we shouldn't struggle against. So, this isn't anything new. You are acting like this is all new stuff. No, we've always done that.
And lost that year to West Virginia. And I saw
You watch your mouth, whatever comes back.
I saw a podcast the other day that had Wall and Cousins on it, and Cousins is throwing Wall under the bus. He's like, I was guarded by Joe Mazzulla the whole game, and you all wouldn't throw me the ball. He said, I could have dominated, but you would not throw me the ball.
Here's Cal's problem.
Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla, by the way.
Right.
Who's probably going to win the NBA championship.
Hopefully.
It is Cal's problem has always been, you all talked about Wisconsin a minute ago. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay? Yeah. John Wall had Joe Mazzulla on him. He could have took him to the basket. Cousins had Joe Mazzulla. Listen, Carl Anthony Towns was guarded by Frank Kaminsky.
For a few minutes, because he didn't play all the time. But, like I said, I'm being quiet.
No, listen. But your boy, Jahlil Okafor, who isn't nearly the player Carl Anthony Towns is.
He was in college, though.
No.
Not in pros, but was in college.
I would. Dominated Frank Kaminsky 2 days later.
Yep.
But if you do that throws away your. Oh, do you got that game?
Yeah.
That you throw away your whole dribble drive offense because we can't just sit out here and run some high-low sets to get it down low.
But so that this isn't anything new. That's what I'm going back to. He wants to. I'm playing this system. He's like a coach in football that is. I'm going to do the triple option. I'm going to do the triple option. I don't care if I have Odell Beckham Jr., DeAndre Hopkins, and Michael Irvin as my wide receivers. I'm going to triple option
like Georgia Tech did with Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, it's like no, you got to do whatever your personnel allow you to do, and sometimes we can work that. Sometimes we can't. We knew exactly what Oakland was going to do. We knew they were going to play a zone against us, and we knew they were going to shoot 9,000 3-pointers. And we still couldn't stop them.
You keep referencing that this is nothing new. I've been saying this for 4 or 5 years. I've never been a Cal fan.
You were in 2010?
That excitement brought me back. Yes.
And you were in 2012.
Anthony Davis. After that, probably 2 years after that's when I started because I realized that the man's ego just started getting a little bit too heavy.
You weren't a fan of them in 2015 when they went 38-0?
I was a fan of the team.
Which team was it that they sent 9 to the NBA? Was that the 2012 team after the national championship?
Yes.
Pretty sure. Well, because he had them all up on the stage. It was like, if you're going to the NBA, stand up. And they all stood up. Yeah. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist will tell you he didn't want to go pro.
There's a lot of guys that would tell you that.
And Cal basically, I mean, of course, he was the number 2 pick. Like, I mean, we got to think about that too. Like,
it's a good thing he did go
because he's terrible.
He had no career in the NBA.
He would have been a fantastic NBA, like a fantastic college player. But you can't pass up. And I think yes, we can't push kids, but he's also not every kid, okay? And I'm not trying to stereotype. He's also getting kids from broken families and poor areas and poor neighborhoods.
We have breaking news.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that.
Shohei Ohtani?
No. John Calipari will be the coach of Kentucky next year.
Woo! I mean, Coach, listen. Hold on, Coach. Listen to me. You put that camera right on him right now. We're about to get views out the roof. Coach is going to take his shirt off.
I promise you, that what literally was crossing my mind, but I didn't know I would take it on the show, and I was going to pull what Adam did, slam the mic down, and walk out.
I have dollar bills. If that changed tonight.
You tell me, is Kentucky the gold standard?
No, not anymore.
You talk about blue bloods.
I would argue that Connecticut might be the new gold standard.
Tell me how they're not.
No,
the last 20, 25 years.
I'm not.
Calipari has had how much NBA talent?
A lot.
And every year. Don't be bringing blah, blah, blah. And one championship to show for it.
One.
And we're paying you $9 million a year, roughly.
Well, football.
That's football.
We're paying you how much?
A lot of money.
And here's
for a lifetime.
What's the worst that could happen to me? They can fire and they can pay me $33 million to go home. There's no, like I went back. A hungry dog is going to do whatever it takes to go eat. When that dog moves to the penthouse, there's no hunger.
So listen, no hunger. He's an arrogant SOB. He's got an ego that would not fit in this room. But you know what he saw this year? Hey, I'm not as beloved as I thought I was. These people are done with me. Watch and see if you don't get the hungry dog back. I promise you, I bet the hungry dog comes.
My biggest complaint with Calipari is we're breaking records, but we're breaking all the ones that we didn't want to break, like
the consecutive losing
streak at home.
That was a good
consecutive NCAA streak.
Robert Morris. At Robert Morris.
That was NIT, Coach. That was NIT.
Because we should. When's UK ever been in the NIT sentence?
Duke's never been there. I don't even know what it is. They tell me it's a not invited tournament. I don't know.
And I can appreciate that. I really can. And then St. Peter's, Oakland,
I mean, there's lots.
Well, don't forget, Coach. The last time they were invited to the NIT,
but not in Michigan.
Play.
No, Kentucky is more talented than the Detroit Pistons.
Yes, absolutely. But
I've seen that comparison.
Are we still on segment 1 or segment 2?
Either one.
Listen,
either one.
It's
all one great big thing.
We don't do segments.
Oh,
you've been on 4 Saturday shows.
Hold on, he's calling Tony Bennett.
2010 to 2017, Calipari.
There was nobody better in the country.
One national title.
One. That's it.
4 Final Four appearances. 6 Elite 8 appearances. But, those are consecutive years. 5 SEC regular titles. 5 SEC tournament titles. 3 number 1 seeds. 1 first weekend exit. 249 and 53 overall record. 111 and 27 SEC record. 9 top 3 recruits. 31 NBA draft picks.
All right.
2018.
Hold on. So, aside from Mike Krzyzewski, there's not a single coach in college basketball that wouldn't trade their 7-8 year run for John Calipari's 7-8 year run. Correct or incorrect?
Yes. Can I my rebuttal? We're not everybody else in college basketball. We are UK. We are the GOAT. We are supposed to be the GOAT standard.
You're right. You're supposed to be, and I'm tired of y'all selling.
One of the other things that has changed since that time frame, the SEC's caught up with their coaches.
The SEC's actually got good.
Billy Donovan and Calipari were the 2 top coaches in the SEC when that transpired, and
the only 2 good teams.
The SEC has, like you said, has gotten better. They've hired better coaching, and I mean, there's not many SEC teams out there aside from Vanderbilt, Missouri. You know,
SEC really showed out though in the tournament.
Tennessee's still alive.
Alabama.
Yeah, they
And
lost
we all know
6-7.
Rick Barnes not being able to coach. The Duke can coach. I think he
I mean,
can.
you don't win 800 games.
I mean,
in
he
90
obviously decided late in the game that he wanted to coach another weekend because most of the time, you know, they look like that he decided he was going to go home, and then they say, I think he'll stay another weekend.
NIL and transfer portal.
so
you got to that.
I'm glad you mentioned Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes is one of 2 active coaches in college basketball with 800 plus wins. The other one's John Calipari.
Yeah.
He also was a Hall of Famer. So we're going to fire a guy that has 800 wins and is a Hall of Famer.
Obviously, not.
Where's he coaching at?
Kentucky still.
That's the gold standard. If you're not doing 2018, 2024 national titles, 0. Final 4 appearances, 0.
Oh,
Elite 8 appearances, 1.
wow.
SEC regular season titles, 1.
Ah.
SEC tournament titles, 1. 1 seeds, 0. First weekend exits, 4.
Oh, my goodness.
Missed the NCAA tournament 1 time. Overall record 161-70. Anybody, that's a really good record. I'll take that. But we're why are we settling? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you the finger. No.
What was the one year that
Draw
we
back
made
it
it
up.
to the?
He just told you to.
I'm sorry,
I'm not
What was the
done.
one year that we won the SEC tournament out of that? Does it say?
Not on this. SEC record
And I'll go back and
87-38.
say
18 maybe.
Top 3 recruits, 1. NBA draft picks, 14.
The one year that they missed, they decided not to even play in the NIT.
Well, because that's
Did
what
they
played
play
Robert
They
Morris.
played Robert Morris,
But
and
they
lost
didn't.
to him.
They
You
didn't
know,
play at UK.
2013 when Nerlens Noel tore his ACL that we went to.
You're right.
That was Robert Morris. The one you're
I'm
talking
sorry, yes,
about
you're
that's
right.
1824, that was just a couple years ago. And they missed the tournament and decided they weren't even
Is
playing.
that the one
enough
that we
wins to
missed?
get
Was
in
that?
NIT.
Would that not have been 2020? Did they
That was
even
a total.
count 2020?
No,
No,
they
they
don't
didn't.
count
They
20.
didn't do a tournament.
I was gonna say,
I knew
they,
that,
They
but-
might have been the regular season champs in 2020, but they would have done the tournament.
Yeah.
So one thing, I'm sorry.
So Seth Greenberg,
I like you.
who's a much better analyst than he is a basketball coach.
He done all right at Virginia Tech.
He said the University of Kentucky, there's only 2 men walking the face of the planet that can coach the University of Kentucky. Rick Pitino and John Calipari.
I wholeheartedly disagree.
You just talked about him being a good guy, good coach.
Who?
You did.
About who being a good coach?
Greenberg.
No,
I say he's a good guy. I like him as an analyst.
Okay, so you like him as an analyst.
If I can disagree with him, even though I don't like him. I think Billy Donovan could coach.
Well,
He could handle that. We're just talking about people on the earth.
I think Bruce Pearl could handle that.
I would like Bruce Pearl, but then again,
He's 64.
you really haven't done. What have you done at Auburn?
he did just win the SEC tournament
He
championship.
did the same thing UK did.
I
He was
mean-
in the first round.
I know
I'm not a
SEC
Bru- I- I'm
tournament
not a
championships
Bruce
are not welcome at UK anymore, but Bruce Pearl did do that.
But he
you
would
also
build
did
the
tournament.
fans.
But Adam has said all along, what have you said? The
I
conference
said-
tournament doesn't what?
It doesn't matter.
The NC State, it does matter.
But they're-
And you give your kids that kind of attitude going in, this game doesn't matter. Who cares if you don't go play well? No, this is the time of season we're clicking. We've got to go all cylinders. Let's go dominate. I want to freaking dominate every game, show y'all I'm coming. Conference tournament does matter. That's Calipari showing his ego. He wasn't saying that the first several years. He was only saying that when he got like one of the ones that, yeah, we really just need to red, blah, blah. No, man, forget that. You're at Kentucky. You need a coach.
Here's the thing. He also has fallen into these slogans and end-of-season tweaks and blue platoon and white platoon.
I've
And
never-
we're
young.
young. Like,
I've never seen a fan base get so excited for a tweak. Every time the man mentions it, oh, here we go, baby! He's tweaking it!
Cal's tweaking.
Sorry. No, sorry, I'm quiet again.
you're going to be quiet.
And you're a Duke fan. Obviously, I understand that. But
And I love John Calipari at Kentucky. Let's make that, no,
Is Jordan Perry a Duke fan?
he is.
Because he's asking on here, can we please talk about Duke?
Well,
No.
they're still playing.
They're not on the
Kentucky
list.
fans are not used to still playing at this time. So we'll talk about it.
but if you're the gold standard that you say you are, why are you not acting? That should be what about 1996, 98? You could sit back in your couch, eat popcorn, not have to work. Yeah, I can go to sleep. We're going to win this game by 20. You're worried because you're going to lose in the first round.
You're right.
That's the gold standard, 96, 98.
Who was coaching then?
Ricky P.
Tubby Smith.
Tubby got fired for a lot less than this.
You daggone right he did.
And if you, well, I got his record somewhere.
Here's my thing. Tubby exited himself, but he was going to get fired.
Tubby with Cal's teams has 3 rings at least.
I don't. Well,
at least.
But here's the argument: is Tubby would have never got Cal's teams because that's not.
He wasn't. You're right.
That's not his style.
Tubby was not the recruiter. Cal was. Tubby coaching Cal's recruiting.
Now here's what I will disagree with you on this. Rick Pitino is not that great of a coach.
Come on now.
Listen to me.
You better have some fire back.
Go back and look at any close game that Rick Pitino's in. 9 times out of 10, his team loses. Here's what Rick Pitino's good at. Rick Pitino's teams are good at playing defense. They're good at taking whatever the officials are going to give them. And he gets every ounce of everything out of each and every one of his guys. He gets them to believe.
Do you not think that's coaching?
I'm talking about close game, changes and adaptions.
But close game.
Close game.
I have seen Rick Pitino be in close games where he shouldn't be within 20 points of the other
because
team.
he's getting the most out of his guys. But if he has to make adjustments,
he can make adjustments.
The man's got 3 titles.
No, one of them's vacated.
No, he still won the game.
It would only be 2.
He's going to get that back.
Okay, I'll give you that because I've always said that. The man has 4 titles, 1 vacated. If Derek Anderson does, he goes for a 3-peat if DA doesn't tear his ACL.
If he doesn't make Derek Anderson sit out, Derek Anderson was ready to go. They beat Arizona
because Derek Anderson hit free throws at the end of that game.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking, and how many 4 different teams to the Final Four, or to the Final Four right?
6.
Providence, UK, Louisville, and
that's it.
I thought it was 4 different teams. I'm sorry,
but he has took 6 different teams to the NCAA tournament. Is that good? I think so.
I like Ricky P.
John Calipari's taken 3 teams to national championship games.
What's his record?
Did UMass go to the national championship?
Yeah, they played
they
Kentucky.
That was the Final Four.
Oh, was that Final Four in 96?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And Ricky P. beat John Cal.
Yeah.
I just hate when people say you're the gold standard, and then you're like, yeah, well, we were just young. You assembled the young roster. Don't use that as an excuse no more.
Well, but he said he doesn't know how to do it any other way.
So Coach,
It's time to go.
Here's
got to adapt.
Here's what I want to talk about, and I promise I'll shut up after this. So, you heard Cal say yesterday in an interview, I got to get older. I got to change. You know as well as anybody, when you establish your culture, it's hard to change your culture from what you've established since day one. Yeah. And don't give me this, we're going after grad transfers. You've got Reeves. You've had Oscar. You've had Trey Mitchell. You've had old guys. You just can't win.
We just got to stop getting guys from West Virginia, I think.
Well, Oscar was pretty
Trey
good.
Mitchell's carried us at the beginning.
You got to figure he had to have given Mitch Barnhart some sort of bull crap cockamamie story today in order for that.
No, I don't think Mitch Barnhart has the
$33
cojones.
million.
No, and plus
the money was allegedly that.
I don't think they're not going to fire him. It would have to be a mutual agreement.
And Cal's not mutually nothing because of his ego. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. I blew Twitter up last night with like 95 posts.
Whoa, hold on. I thought you said you're the greatest marketer. You didn't drop your Twitter handle so people could follow you.
He's got to go see what it is.
At Mark AC2. Y'all give me a follow here.
Mark what?
At Mark AC, capital AC.
That's Alan Collier.
The
second.
I don't think I know what my best friend's Twitter handle is. Come on now.
I didn't know she was here. She's already left. Kylie Hall.
She's my second best friend.
Oh. Well, Wes isn't here.
But I'm telling you, what he gave the fans yesterday is exact salesman. Same thing every year. Fans are tired of UK being the middleman for the NBA. Start building a championship roster instead of boosting your own ego about getting players drafted. He is a politician. The man told the fans what they want. He tickled ears. He knows everybody's mad. He didn't mean a word he said. He's coming back with freshman and sophomore next year, and then blah, blah, blah. And we were just really young.
I think one of the things philosophy-wise that he needs to do, and if he said he was going to do this, so if this is true,
He said he was going to win games in March too.
he's going to quit pushing these guys out the door, right?
My God, it's hot in here.
He's
Thank
going to
you.
let them choose to stay if they want to stay.
Then why is he pushing them out? Why?
To
Personally,
change their life.
Because
you think so?
Change their
Or
life.
is it because I've already signed
Well,
all this other ones, and if I go back on my word with them, I'm going to lose my credibility by playing
I just told you a minute
freshman.
ago that he takes a lot of kids out of bad situations. Okay?
That's perfect. I love it.
So then he's giving them opportunity. Now, there are kids that he should not push, but there's a lot of the kids that he's sent
And I'm so
that
thankful.
need the money. So
What's his job at UK?
to
Win championships.
That's not his job.
the
His job
numbers
is to
that you showed
develop
a while
players
ago.
to the
To
NBA.
win championships.
like even the numbers on his NBA players is down because the first group of years he had 31. The second group it's 14.
Has Cal?
He's not even putting as many guys in the NBA that he.
Who's the one superstar in the NBA that Cal has put in there?
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, I mean, so he's had a really good year, MVP year. But has he had the face of the NBA out of all this NBA talent that he's had?
I'd say Coach K probably's got the face of the NBA, but that's just me.
Who do you think, Jason Tatum?
Or Zion.
Over Jokic and Luka?
I don't think they're.
Yeah.
I think Tatum's up there, but I think Jokic is it right now.
Or Wemby?
Wemby's too new right now.
That's
I
not what you were saying.
would say the top two for Cal is Karl Anthony Towns and Alexander and Shea.
But I mean,
Devin Booker's not bad.
he's not. But I'm talking about face of the NBA.
Anthony Davis had a pretty good career.
I think NBA that. He was a great college player, man, but he can't carry an NBA.
He wasn't that good of a college
player.
player. He's a better pro player.
No, sir.
Yeah.
It actually looks like it means something in college to him. He gets out there and it's like a day school. If his hair gets out of place, he has to sit out for 3 weeks.
That's true.
That is true.
I mean, LeBron could lead the Lakers and let's say we're going to build it on Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis cannot carry an NBA team by himself.
LeBron James can't either.
He has for 20 years. I'll give him a little bit of credit. I'm not a LeBron. I like LeBron, but LeBron's done it for how many years?
23.
But I'm a Jordan guy, but LeBron can. And that's when D-Wade stepped aside, and that just proved that point right there.
Anthony Davis and the pros can't stay healthy long enough.
That's what I'm saying. His hair got out of place. He's out for 6 weeks.
LeBron did take the worst Cavs roster I've ever seen to the NBA Finals.
But he didn't win that NBA Finals.
But he carried them there.
Got him there.
Did you see the roster that Dirk Nowitzki took to the finals and beat LeBron's super team?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
a good. Yeah, Dirk. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Dirk's legit.
Okay, just curious.
So,
Just curious.
are you? You're playing the heel right now. I feel like with UK, but are you a UK fan or in general, or who do you root for? You're not a big college basketball fan.
I used to be a huge college basketball fan, and when John Calipari first came here, I loved John Calipari.
Yeah.
I'm just defending John Calipari right now because if not, Adam's going to sit over and be quiet, and you two are just going to continue to crap on him. And listen,
he doesn't like him either.
I have defended him for a long time. I
He
will
is
say
playing devil's advocate.
some of the stuff that he has done.
Just for the show.
No,
Yeah.
I mean I may do it off the show just because I like being a curmudgeon.
And we will take 4 hours before we make our next MLB draft pick. Don't think we won't.
Tell me to hurry up.
Tell me to hurry up one more
It
time.
will not happen.
It will not happen. Actually, I'll let the clock expire and it'll auto pick me. And that was accidental. But it was, he was the best hire at the time. I have long time said that
100% agree.
the Kentucky job is a 10-year job at most.
Dobie Hall said the same thing.
The pressures and the microscope and everything that comes with Kentucky, it's a 10-year job. After 10 years or less, it's time to go.
Stay around long enough.
And
till they
he
hate
even
you.
said that when he first got hired. He even said that.
You either
he said,
leave a
"I
hero-
hope I'm here in 10 years."
You either leave a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. And John Calipari, you talked about his first 7-8 years. If he leaves there, people are sitting here, they're building statues outside of Rupp Arena. He's the greatest coach that ever came to Kentucky. And he took us back, he brought us back to the gold standard. Billy Gillespie had us way down, he brought us back. But because he didn't leave when he should have and ride out on his white horse and then come back and make Paul Miller Ford commercials all he wants to. People's like, oh God, John Calipari. Like, he go on speaking tours for the university, get billions of dollars, right? I mean, can you imagine if he left after 8 years and he's now the head of the La Familia NIL fund? You know how much money would be in that? Because people loved him.
Look at Rich Brooks.
Rich Brooks?
Rich Brooks was a trash coach for years,
He
and then
only came
brought
to
the
Kentucky.
program back. And then as soon as they got to winning, he turned it over to Joker. And now people love Rich Brooks,
But
they forget
nobody
about
wanted Rich Brooks
losing.
whenever he first came here.
Right.
Like, why are we making this trash hire? This dude's 87. But
He went to school with Crouch.
he did. They were actually roommates. John Calipari. So let me ask you this question. It is rumored that we were going to hire either John Calipari or Tom Izzo in 2010.
John Calipari, I would take him over Izzo. Yeah.
I would take John Calipari over Izzo too.
At that time.
And still today,
Nope. Yeah, I probably would.
I would take his over 100 times out of 100.
I would not. You don't enjoy exciting basketball. I mean, listen,
That's a fair point.
Tom Izzo is perfect for anything Big Ten related because it's boring as hell. But it worked out because he had one of those first weekend exits with Memphis. So, I mean, and he was getting pretty good, not Kentucky level recruiting class, but people are like being all bent out of shape. But he's done this his whole career. Like, this is what John Calipari does.
Cheats. 100% agree.
Well, I mean, it's not cheating now. There are no rules. But he gets beat by teams he shouldn't. He gets put out of the NCAA tournament before he should. You know, he'll put together a class at UMass with Marcus Camby who had seizures before the game, and that was a big deal, and took him to the Final Four. And it's like, oh, my God, John Calipari. And then,
He brought UMass out of the
and then John Chaney tried to kill him.
post game.
He said he was going to kill him. He said, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
But then he goes to Memphis. Memphis hadn't been anything since they had Memphis State across their jersey, and Anthony Penny Hardaway was the point guard. Takes them to the Final Four, to the national championship game. Should have won.
They didn't hit free throws.
Didn't hit free throws.
Should have won the game.
Should have won the game.
Mario Chalmers hits a crazy shot, send it to overtime.
And it had never went to overtime.
Right.
If he wins that national championship at Memphis, does he come to Kentucky?
Well, here's how – no, because here's what's going to
None
happen.
of this even happens if Rick Pitino don't jump to the NBA.
And Kentucky has
And he still
13.
regrets that. to
Kentucky
this
has
day.
13 or 14 titles.
Ooh, that's a big number.
But he's not wrong.
You're talking about total.
Total.
Not in the Rick Pitino era.
Total. No.
I'm like,
We
you think Ricky P gonna win 14 titles?
we overtake UCLA.
UCLA should be wiped off the record books. What they Duke because
the argument you're going to make
in the George Mikan era. No, the argument I'm gonna make
is going to take a lot of UK titles off.
Okay, Duke is the gold standard in college basketball.
Gosh, you've never been smarter.
Am I wrong?
Nope, you're not. I agree.
Since 1990, let's go to 1990. Name a better college basketball program than the Duke Blue Devils. You can't.
How many titles since in 90? 5.
All
We're
of
talking
them.
about from
All of
90 to
them. All
now.
of them.
Connecticut's not better.
So there's two teams with 5 titles since 91. It's Duke and UConn.
UConn started winning in 1999. So that's what I'm saying. From 1990 until
Right.
now, Duke is the gold standard. UConn's number 2.
Can you clip that? I just want the clip.
I will record it and send it to you. So, hate on me all you want to. We're not the gold standard. We're using UCLA verbiage.
I'm not sure that we're the wood standard right now.
We're using the UCLA standard, the George Mikan era,
We're the aluminum standard.
to try to justify a position that we're not in.
We're all Rick Pitino spoiled us. Tubby got that title.
But how did he spoil us?
I mean, 2 out of 3 titles. I mean, that
One title.
he got 2.
One.
No, Tubby got the 98 one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But he took 3 national titles or games that era spoiled. Plus, look, man, Cat, you got me tongue tied. No, I'm just kidding. I never get tongue tied. Cal just needs to go.
But
We're not the gold standard anymore.
What I'm asking is, how long was Pitino at Kentucky?
8 years, roughly. He was in early 80s.
So let's compare.
I mean, late 80s, right?
If it was 8 years, let's compare Rick Pitino's 8 years to John Calipari's 8 years.
Pitino. Oh, yeah. Can we do that?
I mean, I don't know why you can't, but what like everybody puts Pitino on this high horse, and it's like
89 to 97 is how long he was there.
they put him on his high horse, and I'm like,
I was going to say 89.
Well, I mean,
season.
just look at the last 4 years.
but
Calipari 60 and 46.
what I'm getting back to is he
and
stayed too long.
Patino only lost 16 games in those 4 years.
But they were in his 8-year run. If you
He's
go
saying
back
you
and-
got to go back to his first
you
8
look at
years.
the 2010 to 2017.
Well, his very first team was the Duke game, right?
No, he came in the late 80s.
Or
The Duke game was 92.
Yeah, they were on probation when he got there, right?
Yeah, because
Had
they
to
was-
Richie Farmer and all.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the only players he could take were the unforgettables.
Yeah.
And then he landed Jamal Mashburn, which was a program-changing player for him.
yes.
But there's not much. The difference is that no damn NBA team came in and took John Calipari after 2017
Because he already failed in the NBA.
because he already failed in the NBA, and he lost John Robick. That's the key. He lost John Robick and hasn't been the same
he
since.
probably needs to flush out his coaching
He
staff.
needs to
and
get
move
rid
on.
of Orlando Antigua.
What does Bruiser Flint do?
Looks good.
Nothing.
Hey, we was talking about this at work today, and Craig said every time that he goes to a particular golf course, Antigua and Flint are there playing golf. He said that's all they ever do. So, all right, well let's move on because we still haven't got to our 5-minute segment.
I think it's a good thing that John Calipari's back. And I think you're going to see an invigorated, got that dog in him. He's going to be the 2-2 sweet treat dog of the week. Watch and see.
So here is Patino's.
He's going to change his tone.
Here's Patino's 8-year stretch. I
I'm
found
a curmudgeon.
What would you say Calipari's stretch was? First 8 years, how many conference titles?
4, if I
Five.
remember.
Conference.
5. 5 regular season, 5 conference titles.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so Pitino was regular season champ, conference tournament champ 91-92, conference champ 92-93, regular season champ 93 through 96, conference tournament champ 94-95, 96-97.
Pretty equivalent.
Pretty equivalent. That's way out. That's way more.
No, he was doing regular and conference. What they might be 12 total when you combine regular season and conference title. It's 10 or 12.
9.
So Cal 5 and 5 makes 10. So no, it's not way over.
And he also has 3 Final Fours and a championship.
And how many Final Fours did Cal have in that span?
It was 4, right? But if he doesn't leave a 90, I'm giving him 98.
You can't give him 98. I don't think Pitino could have coached that team to the national championship. It played for Tubby style. I'm telling you, there's a reason he left to go to the Boston Celtics.
Someone just commented and said no sound.
We got no sound.
I got no comment here.
He must be commenting on the other show then.
So now he knows. If you're watching, sorry, we're a little lagging. We're buffering.
We're on a different show.
So
Yeah, it's on the other one.
I'm giving 98 to Pitino.
you can't. He wasn't the guy.
He was the guy.
He was not the guy.
That's his guy.
Tubby Smith was the guy. Then if you're not giving that to Tubby, then Tubby did nothing and should have been gone a lot sooner. Am I wrong?
If Tubby was a good coach, Tubby just couldn't recruit on that level.
That's not what I asked.
If you look at that, then yeah, he probably should have.
So, but everybody's like, "Oh, Tubby Smith, he was."
I never bashed Tubby. I like Tubby. Could
But he
coach.
didn't do anything because you're giving him the '98 title that he won to Rick Pitino.
You could have coached that team to a championship.
Go back and look at that roster. That was Cameron Mills before he got fat. You telling me that Scott Padgett was the best player on the team? Scott Padgett. And you're telling me that team was world beaters.
This crew right here could have sat on that bench.
This guy right here could have probably beat that team.
There's no way.
No.
Wayne Turner.
Who?
Wayne Turner?
Oh, money.
Was Tony Belk on that team?
No, he was on
No,
96.
he was
You
96.
did drugs.
Anthony
for that.
Evans.
No, he was on 97 team. He went on 98.
You sure he went on a 92?
I'm from Marion County. I know when he played.
Yeah, you're right. It could have been 92 on that one. Good.
Jared Prickett, who played at Kentucky for 300 years. He played under Rupp, Hall, Sutton, and Patino. That's how long Jared Prickett was at Kentucky.
It was Pickett, by the way. But
Well, he was a prick. So he's a Prickett.
In this room right here, we can sit on that bench, roll the balls out, boys, go play, get us a championship.
You're a Duke fan. How much better was the Duke team that Kentucky beat in the Elite Eight in 1998?
Obviously, they weren't good because we beat them. Two blue bloods going at it.
98 was.
Wojo was the point guard.
There's your problem.
That's all you need to say. Let's not sit here and act like Wojo was great
But
athletic.
who else was on?
Was
Pull up the roster real
Was it
quick.
Trajan Langdon?
I mean, was that not Elton Brand?
They won the 97. Trajan, no, that was Arizona. Trajan
that
laid in 98.
Was
no,
that not Elton Brand and Corey Maggette?
Arizona beat Trajan Langdon in the championship.
Yeah, because they had Mike Bibby and
no,
Arizona beat Kentucky in the national championship in
with
97.
Mike Bibby and
Miles Simon.
Miles Simon.
Khalid Elamine. I still hate that little point guard from Arizona.
Come on, look it up.
I'm looking. What am I
Damon
looking up again?
Stoudemire was on that team, right?
Not in 97. Mighty Mouse was gone.
Oh, that's right, Bibby. That's right.
98, right? Or 97.
You all make me want to kick a dog.
My mother just commented. She's from Rick Pitino. And what Mama says goes.
I'm not disagreeing with your mama. I'm
Wait.
trying.
Mama, please chime in. This man yelled at your baby.
Is this the moment that we're going to?
No, that's Memo.
That's
Mama.
Mama. That's
Mama.
Mama. That's
Mama.
Mama.
If it was Memo, I'd change my tone because she's gonna feed us dinner.
It's loading.
She doesn't like Cal either.
So the 98
Never mind, he's got it.
Kentucky roster.
Read this. Look at these world beaters. My goodness, they probably
Scott Padgett,
Scott Padgett.
So it's 98, 99 or 97, 98?
98, 99.
Okay, Scott Padgett. Woo, baby.
Scott Padgett, Hashimu Evans,
Woo!
Turner, Michael,
Hashimu!
Come on with it.
Manhattan.
Michael Bradley, Jamal McGlure, Tayshaun, Saul,
Tayshaun and Jamal McGlure.
Desmond Allison, Jules Kamara, Ryan
listening to the
Hogan,
rest of that?
Todd Tackett, J.P. Blevins, Steve Masiello, and Myron Anthony.
What? That team.
Hold on. Repeat what you just said.
That team.
Last word. Team. Cal's got a bunch of
was the
individuals.
coach?
Cal's got a bunch
was
of
the coach?
individuals.
Who was the coach?
Tubby.
Rick Pitino can't take that team to a national title.
But you literally just said 30 minutes ago Rick Pitino is best at getting the most out of his team.
He is.
How can he not take that team to a title then?
That's no better than the 92 team that lost to Christian Laettner.
But here you go. Here, Adam he was right. We were talking about the 98 championship team, which would be 97, 98. That team is Jeff Shepard,
Jeff Shepard was there.
Nazi,
Dude.
Scott Padgett.
Nazir Muhammad was a good college player.
And he played for a long time in the NBA.
You are on
Six
drugs.
of these
Just
are
tell us the
in.
name. I don't care about numbers.
Scott Padgett, Wayne Turner,
Dude.
Hachimu,
Dude.
Alan Edwards,
Dude.
Jamal McGlure,
Dude.
Cameron Mills, Saul Smith, Michael Bradley, Myron Anthony, Ryan Hogan, and Steve Masiello.
That Jeff Shepard is the only addition from the last roster that he read, and Nazir Muhammad.
Of those, Jeff Shepard, Nazi, Scott Padgett, Wayne Turner, Jamal McGlure, Michael Bradley went to the NBA.
So Prince wasn't on that team, on that championship team.
He graduated in 97.
Didn't realize that
No,
Prince.
he-
No, I
got
guess
there.
he was after
I
that.
didn't realize that Prince
He
never
was
got
a
a title.
freshman in the 98, 99.
So-
With Gerald Fitch and everybody.
that
Yeah.
lost to UAB in the first round.
Under who?
Tubby Smith,
Fitch wasn't there in 98, 99, but Prince.
Cliff Hawkins, and all these cats.
UAB was the
They had the
the twins.
Yeah.
And the Preston twins.
And they had what's his name? What's his name that went to Indiana? Mike Davis. Was he not the coach there?
I think so.
But so Tubby Smith.
I give credit. Okay. You want to twist my arm, I'll give credit to Tubby for coaching that because coaching
Because
is
you don't-
extremely hard.
If you don't
I'll
give
give
him
it to
that
you.
time, then he didn't do anything.
I'll give it to you.
But if you want to look, John Calipari's one flaw
Ego.
because he hasn't left. His one flaw.
Doesn't relate to fans well. thinks he's
Gerald.
above the program.
But it goes back to ego. That's his one flaw.
I was trying to give you 3, but you said 1.
Ego. But all that goes back to his ego.
My way or the highway. Don't want to change with the times.
But do you not want your coach to have that ego? If we're the gold standard?
You have to have an ego at UK, but you have to have
So
a
now
good
we're bashing
ego.
the guy for having an
You
ego?
have to have a good ego.
So
You
what's
can't be
good
the
ego?
villain at UK.
So, but why can't you be the villain?
Well, that's why everybody's getting. That's why everybody wants him fired.
But if we have those 3 national titles that you're talking about, he can be an asshole all he wants to. And you're like, man, John Calipari, that guy right there, he's got that dog in him.
Yeah, you're right. I have to give you that one too. And if he wins next year,
Listen.
I'm still not going to like it.
Kentucky basketball fans are as ignorant as Alabama football fans.
What you got against Alabama?
They think that they should win the national title every single year.
Why shouldn't you with the program they have?
And
They
their
should be in the
75
mental.
listeners just went away.
They should have that.
That's a standard.
Yep.
Okay.
See, there's
You
the
should
difference.
win it every year.
impossible.
There's the difference.
Yes.
Saban got the signals after going 4 years without winning. He's like,
So
it's
I'm
time
out.
for me to go home.
Yeah, because I don't like the way that college basketball is going or college football is going. I don't like it.
Because
Calipari doesn't have the ability to do that. He
Ego.
should have done the exact same thing.
Ego.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on.
John Calipari.
Are we
I'm
on
glad that
segment?
he's back in
Are
Kentucky.
we on segment 2 now?
No.
So do you
We ain't
think
even made
Cal
it to
really wants
5
to go?
and 5 yet.
Oh my gosh.
I got sweaty.
We're at 50 minutes.
I'm a-
We ain't made it till 5.
I'm afraid to even talk about college basketball Sweet 16 at this point.
Duke's in there.
I will
Hey,
say this.
the week ACC has how many teams?
4.
4. Yep.
I will say this.
Nice hands.
I'm a little more impressed by Purdue than what I gave them credit for.
Well, who
They-
they beat?
Look,
Sub 500 teams.
you can't say that, Adam,
You can.
because their history doesn't get them to the Sweet 16.
They beat better teams than UK lost to.
Gene Katie, we got that dog in him.
I mean,
Man, that Gene Katie, he was
with the comb over
the
that still
greatest
had the
coach that
ballpark.
God ever gave breath to. Gene Katie.
The thing about it is they've went out and they've handled both teams that they played against. They just made the decision, we're not allowing these teams to stay in this thing, right? So, and Houston played a very good game. They were beat by A&M the other night, and then in overtime they
Went to
played
overtime.
a whole different game. And they had a lot of foul trouble in that game.
They had 4 foul out and a walk-on
Yeah.
comes in, hits a big free throw, and makes a defensive stop.
Yeah.
Talk about being ready. Kelvin Sampson's got those boys ready.
And where the heck did Gonzaga come from all of a sudden?
Mark Few, don't doubt him.
I mean, they are playing really good basketball. This
Nine.
Sweet 16 is going to be good.
9 straight Sweet 16.
You know the game that
for
I'm looking
Gonzaga.
forward to? Creighton, Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah. There's,
Illinois, Iowa State's going to be really good.
Iowa State's really good.
we don't really.
Who's going to put NC
Who's
State
the
out?
NC State's the lowest seed left, right?
Yep.
I mean,
11.
of course, it's funny that over the last 5 years, it's been so far away from chalk, but this year's like pretty much chalk to this point. So I don't know, man. That momentum, man. NC State with that momentum, they're playing really well.
But momentum
Because the
don't mean
conference
nothing.
tournament matters.
Does it, though? Auburn won the SEC. Where they at?
That's
They're in
Bruce Pearl
Auburn,
coaching.
Alabama.
Auburn, Alabama.
NC State doesn't make. We're on number 3.
No, but it's the Sweet 16.
It's Sweet 16.
Auburn is one of those teams that should be in the Sweet 16. They just couldn't hit shots. At
What
the
about that
end.
Kentucky team? Should they be in the Sweet 16?
No.
Who's the big guy for NC State?
DJ Burns.
DJ
Yes, yes.
That dude is a massive human being.
He even gave his ice cream up after the game. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He said, "I'm not." He said, "If I eat this, I'll be soft." He said, "I'm too hungry for it."
And they have a
Calipari would have ate the ice cream.
player that's fasting right now for Ramadan. And he goes
Ramadan.
Ramadan. What I say, Ramadan?
Ramadan. That's what other people saying.
the Ramada Inn. He's fasting for the Ramada Inn.
Because they got a good continental breakfast.
But he goes all day without eating or drinking anything until the sun goes down.
Sounds like
And
a guy I read Daniel in the Bible.
he did do that.
Said, tempt me. Bet.
That's what he said. He said, bet.
So
You can't go all day without
it's going to be a
eating.
solid Sweet 16. That's for sure.
Matthew Perry commented and said, just think
The actor?
Houston.
Holy crap! I thought he was dead.
I thought he was too, but apparently
He's got a love
Coach Perry.
Matthew Perry.
He might coach.
I mean, Matt Perry coaches at Bath County. Is this a different one?
Maybe.
You got glasses on?
I can't see
Say
in the
that.
profile picture.
Matthew Perry, if you coach at Bath County, say, yes, sir, I do.
Give us a comedy, huh?
But he said, remember, Houston lost by 30 in their conference championship.
That's true. That's a good point, Matthew Perry.
Who'd they play?
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Iowa State beat the
Whoop, whoop,
Rockets.
house and house.
Clemson also playing.
He heard your call. He said, yes, sir, I do.
I made that call.
I couldn't tell who it was. He's behind me.
Really? You can't tell his voice versus his after all this time?
When all four of you's
The
yelling and I'm trying to read,
level up
yes.
here, it's always Neil.
I didn't think we were yelling. I thought we were having constructive conversation.
No, we're yelling.
I thought it was a good.
I don't know how to do anything but yell.
All right,
I
moving
don't
on.
know, but this Audacity thing is supposed to be jagged and it's just solid blue all the way across. So I think that means
Not like cow's blood. It's not solid blue. It's green
So,
for money.
That's right.
What about this Otani stuff?
Oh, he's 100% guilty.
He's done.
He is one. No,
He's not done
They're
because
gonna
they're going to
sweep it
sweep it
under
under the rug.
And they're going to
100%
get
they're
sued
sweeping it.
by Pete Rose.
I love it. He goes, I wish I would have had an interpreter when I was betting.
You see that? That's awesome.
And he's going to win.
He is 100% guilty.
Yes. And they're going to mishandle this situation. And Pete Rose is going to sue Major League Baseball.
And getting in the Hall of Fame. And we're bringing Pete Rose on this show.
I've already contacted him.
If Pete
Is he
Rose
coming?
gets
Yeah.
in the Hall of Fame, does all of the other guys have to get in too?
I don't know why they're not already.
Who? Are we talking about Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds? Yeah. They're Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Whether they're actually in the Hall or not, everybody knows they're Hall of Famers.
Sammy Sosa, when he wasn't white, might have been a Hall of Famer.
So let me ask you,
White Sammy
Adam,
Sosa's not.
Still is.
let me ask you, Adam, after Pete Rose
Did you
sues
just
Major
ask me
League,
to ask him?
let me ask.
Let me ask you.
Ask you.
After Pete Rose sues the MLB and gets in the Hall of Fame, do we get your old jersey back so we can get more than $850?
I think
At
all
the
sales
auction?
were final at the auction.
Can we get it redonated for next year?
I wish.
Hey guys, breaking news. Kentucky Sports Radio just announced John Calipari will remain Kentucky's head basketball coach next year. I know that makes both of you all happy.
We're not.
What do you
But-
think?
No, we're not. No,
But
no, no.
if you
no,
click on the article,
no,
it
no.
does say that there will be staff changes.
We are moving on.
We didn't talk about staff
We are
changes.
moving
We did,
on.
we didn't talk about staff
We are
changes.
moving on.
But the thing is,
We are moving
unless
on.
you get those four dudes,
moving on.
you got to keep Cal
Think Bruiser Flint's looking for a
We are
job?
moving on.
and Chin.
We are moving on.
We're talking about his assistants.
We are moving on.
You think Brad Calipari comes back?
Where's he at now, Vandy?
We are moving on.
And then he gets thrown out when they play Louisville, and Richard Virginia coaches against Brad Calipari.
Broderick Moore agrees that MLB is going to sweep it under the rug.
Oh, there's
Oh,
no doubt.
there's no
That's
doubt.
why
Because he's the poster
already,
child.
He's already the fall guy.
Yeah.
You know.
They've already created this story that Otani didn't know all the information because he don't speak English, and the interpreter was telling him what he wanted him to know. I'm like, this is a grown man.
So let me ask you this question. Otani, I mean, is he basically the John Calipari of Major League Baseball
Oh
now?
my God.
No, seriously.
No, he's not, because he took a pay cut to make
Does,
He deferred money.
the third money. I'm not a pay cut.
does Otani have to face some sort of suspension, though?
Has to.
Has to, though, right? Even if they sweep it under the rug.
Nope.
You don't think he serves a day?
They're
Not
going to
one
blame it
day.
all on the interpreter.
The interpreter's the fall guy.
And he's
Listen,
going out.
I'm telling you that he should have to serve some. I mean, he's not going to be able to pitch this year, so go on and make him sit the whole year out.
He can still hit, though. He's a pretty daggone good hitter.
He's not bad. I think if you're not, I mean, because he, by the precedent and standard that has been set, he should be done. They set that standard.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If we're going to sweep it under the rug, if you want to keep people at bay and quiet, like he still needs to serve something.
This gambling thing in professional sports has gotten way out of hand, though.
Here's another good point. Trevor Bauer is playing in Japan because of allegations.
That he cleared all charges, like Cat Williams said. 63 convictions, 0 felonies.
That's a good Cat Williams. You've been working on that on the way to Toyota, haven't you?
You know, I watch a lot of Cat Williams.
He also called out Puff Daddy, but we gonna leave that alone.
Hey, listen, Waffles.
They don't like to talk about the C word on this show, conspiracies, but I'm all for it.
I'm all for it too. I love the conspiracies.
So just now hit me.
Oh,
Paige Burgess, Paige Beckers, right? Is that
From
who you
UConn.
you mispronounced her name? UConn's best player. Is that right? We talked about that earlier in the show.
Me?
Yeah, they were talking about Paige Burgess and Caitlin Clark.
No, Peyton Burgess
Peyton
from
Burgess
Menifee
Is from Menifee.
is his favorite player.
That's his favorite
I'm sorry,
player.
I thought
But
you-
he is known to mispronounce names. Yes.
That comment right there gets the jersey moved a little closer to the window.
Did you see Gino's getting tired of the Caitlin Clark talk? Is that where you're going with that?
Gino's another one. Your time's over, buddy.
But nobody's screaming for Gino to leave.
They may be in UConn. We don't know. We don't live there
No, but Kentucky fans all over the world.
because we're the biggest fan base. Gold standard. No one wants a little job. Tino's a front runner now. How do we feel after being a past blah 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 blah?
I think it shows that they're little brother.
Good read there.
There is nothing that screams little brother.
I think Louisville's waiting for one of these guys that's still playing in the tournament. I don't know why I think that.
Who?
Shaka Smart.
I think that's who they're waiting for too.
I think Shaka Smart might
It's
be the guy at Louisville.
I actually saw when I was watching him play Sunday, and just when he was interviewed after the game, and like he said, "I love these guys." Like,
and he was emotional.
it kind of feels like that he knows this is the last road. Like, I think he could be the Louisville coach.
Shaka Smart at Louisville would be dangerous.
Could be very dangerous.
I mean, he was
Why
good.
do you think he didn't do as well at Texas?
He did.
got too big too soon though.
I think he had some bad luck. He had some poor injuries on timing.
I think he's a really good coach.
Right.
And Texas they think they're more than what they are.
Do you know this is the first time he's made the Sweet 16 since he took VCU to the Final Four in 2011? That's crazy because he's that good of a coach.
Coaching matters.
Are you?
Shaka's that good of a coach. I would have thought he would make more.
Okay,
Than,
I was like,
Yeah.
I thought you were taking
was
a shot
like,
at him. I was like,
no.
but you just said he was. I was like,
no, he's that good of a coach. I would have thought.
The
he
way
would
that I
have
took it
made
was
more
like he hadn't taken the team to the Sweet 16 since 2011 because he's that good of a coach.
But you think it's just because of a run of bad luck at Texas?
Yeah,
He should have never taken the Texas job, but he couldn't turn down Texas money.
he got
But
it.
see, that's a Texas thing to do, though, right? We talked about it earlier with today, the Charlie Strong hire when they hired him as
Worst hire ever.
you
He
know.
should have never left Louisville.
Actually, not the worst hire ever. Florida State Willie Taggart's the worst hire ever. You know I'm telling the truth.
That was a tomahawk right to the back.
You know I'm telling the truth.
That was on the same level as the sub 500 comment.
Well, and I
But
mean,
you know I'm telling the
That
the
was
truth.
thing about it is
That was a spear right to the back.
but the Willie Taggart hire to Oregon was just as bad. I mean, he
Willie
did not
Taggart should
deserve.
be out of college football.
I mean, he didn't deserve either one of those jobs.
He should have stayed at Western.
He's a Florida Atlantic now, right?
He should have stayed at Western.
Bigger's not always better, correct?
So that's what I keep saying.
So
Coach Perry says next coach at Louisville will be Richie Pitino, and Jamal Mashburn Jr. will follow him there.
Is that the Bath County? Did he confirm that?
Yeah.
Is that my guy?
So Richard.
Yeah, he
I
said if you
I
coach
didn't
at
know
Bath
we had
County,
a
say yes or
Mashburn Jr. floating around out
Yeah,
there.
Didn't
he's
know I
in
had
Mexico.
Okay.
He's good too.
But he ain't as good as his daddy.
No,
Um,
I wouldn't. I don't think so.
But that's the Louisville thing to do, to go down that path, right?
I think it's Shaka Smart.
I think it's Patino or Shaka Smart at this point.
Well, and I think it could be Patino if Shaka Smart turns away.
Why
I think if Shaka says no, they're going to go with Little Rich.
So
Is it just because of the money?
No,
Well,
because of the baggage.
as far as the money, Dusty May, he couldn't come. They couldn't come to agreement on money.
He was.
I meant for Richard Pitino. This because of what they did to your dad. Your dad sued the university, and you're going to go back there and try to build that legacy back.
Maybe he's gonna tear them down from the inside.
Maybe he's going
He's
to
gonna
restore.
pull. He's gonna pull the Vince McMahon
How
hood off.
much further
Like,
can they get down?
it was me. It was me all along.
Or he's
I
going
mean,
to
they've won
restore
11
the
games
Patino
the
name.
last 2 years. How worse can they get?
12. Give them credit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
12 and 52
I apologize.
for a coach that they wanted. They should have just settled in with Chris Mack and rode out the wave.
Yeah.
So Dusty May goes to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Snooze. I bet he is out of a job in 4 years.
I'm not that high on Dusty May. He got one run
He
to the
just-
Final Four.
He just took a team to 2 NCAA tournaments that's never been there before.
Okay, listen to me. He took that team to the Final Four last year. He had the exact same team this year with not the same success. Gets booted in the first round.
Yep.
He got the Michigan job and the Louisville look based off of one run.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, Michigan is the middle of the pack or below that with him as
Who
coach.
takes the Michigan State job whenever Tom Izzo retires in a week or two?
I'm sure it's already decided.
Draymond Green.
Hall of
Darius
Famer. Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer.
Darren DeVries, is that how you say it?
No, DeVry.
DeVry takes the West Virginia job. He came from where?
Drake.
No.
The Drakes.
So he was at Drake for 6 seasons. He's a loyalty guy. He was
Clearly.
No, he was at Creighton for 19 years as an assistant under the coach before McDermott, and McDermott took the Drake job. His son plays at Drake with him. He's coming to West Virginia in the portal as well.
So he's not somebody that's just going to jump ship.
No,
He's
2 jobs in 25 years.
How many jobs you had in 25 years?
More than 2.
Okay.
I mean, and
Sean, how many jobs you had in 25 years?
2.
Just saying.
every place he's been has been a winner.
Sean, every place you've been has it been a winner?
Yep.
So basically, your coach is Sean Kuiper.
No, because this guy actually succeeds.
Sean,
Whoa.
Sean.
I sold $3 million worth of roofs last year. I'm pretty sure that's pretty successful.
Should have been
Let's go,
billion
let's go,
with a
ready?
B.
Splash.
Y'all got to time that better.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get there. But
I know it started with an S though.
Mark Byington. I have no idea who this dude is.
James Madison, 32-3 this year.
Okay.
He goes to Vandy.
So that just announced yesterday.
Literally, all these have been in
The
last
best
24
name
hours.
ever, Danny Sprinkle.
Where was he at, Sean? Where was he at?
Never heard of this dude.
Utah State.
Sounds like you should be a male
He was
stripper.
Utah State head coach.
Let's welcome Danny Sprinkle to the
Where's the
stage.
Washington coach? Did he get
And on the main stage.
Doing the helicopter.
Yes, got fired. So Danny Sprinkle's dad played football at Washington.
when I was typing these things out, I'm like, is that a real name?
I feel like you
It
meant.
is.
I feel like you meant. I'm changing my name legally. I'm not going to go by Sprinkle.
But his dad was also a
That is
Sprinkle and
a
played football.
wrestling move in the Southern Indiana.
No, regional wrestling.
Wrestling.
That's the tsunami signature move.
The tsunami sprinkle. Tsunami sprinkle.
Splash.
Oh, shoot. That's the move before the splash. Oh God, he set him up with the tsunami sprinkle.
Splash.
Oh shoot.
The what?
Easy.
Oh shit.
This segment sponsored by Viagra.
And then Kyle Smith to Stanford.
Where's Kyle Smith at?
Good day.
Washington State.
Oh,
Oh, okay. To Stanford?
Yeah.
So Stanford's going to ACC, right?
Right.
that's going to be defunct in 25.
Yep.
Florida State's going to where? Big Ten or
SEC.
SEC?
SEC.
Think so?
Where's Clemson going?
SEC.
Where's Carolina going?
SEC.
I think North Carolina goes Big Ten.
No, I
If
think
the other two go SEC, I think.
I think those are the three they take. I think they take Carolina, Clemson, and Florida State.
I thought Florida State goes to the Big Ten.
Because you don't want them to get smacked around the SEC.
No, I want them in the
it makes
SEC.
sense. It makes sense.
I want them in the SEC.
So you could see him
Once
put a
every
herd
other
on
year.
Rupp.
Huh?
Put a herd in Rupp.
Kroger Field.
Well, it'd
Rupp.
be Rupp too.
No, he's a Kentucky
Oh
basketball
yeah,
fan.
that's right. That's right. You're
I
one
won
of
A,
those-
one B.
He's a Cal fan.
That's right. I
He
forgot.
likes Cal over Leonard Hamilton.
So
UK guy.
since we're talking about coaching changes, one other one I wrote on here, I just wrote it down. UK women made a pretty big hire.
Big
today.
hire.
Man, tell about it.
Splash.
Talk about it, Coach.
Dude built Virginia Tech, ground up, Final Four last year. 6 seasons there, 160-ish and 80 or 160.
Would have made a run had his best player not
Would
torn
not get
ACL.
hurt. That is a home run hire for UK women.
It shows that UK is serious about women's basketball.
And it's about time. Nothing.
Big hire.
Yeah, that home run hire best I think Mitch Barnhart could have done.
You're going to see a lot of Kentucky kids hit the portal because the talent he's going to bring in
Is going to
better than
elevate
what's
him.
on the roster.
Absolutely. And I hate it, but there's a lot of talent around that country, and UK is going to he's going to get them.
So that makes UK women's basketball a destination spot?
I think he'll build it there and then 2 to 3.
That's fair.
No.
He has a whole roster overhaul right now. Whether he's going to keep
But with the way
girls
the transfer
From the
portal works,
Kyra Elsie error.
So let's see.
Yeah.
If they were in the Final Four last year,
after 6 years.
did they play Iowa or LSU or South Carolina?
LSU knocked off South
Iowa
Iowa
beat
knocked off
South Carolina, so LSU would have beat Virginia Tech.
Yep.
So, yeah. So I mean,
Great hire
That's
by
a-
Mitch Barnhart.
that's some good, a good group of schools to be among.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
there.
you all dogged Mitch Barnhart for a long time today, so it's good to give him credit at the end.
Mitch Barnhart at this point
I don't know
has
that
made
we-
3 really good hires in his 3 biggest
God,
sports.
Here we go.
Mark Stoops, Kenny Brooks, John Calipari.
yeah.
Was he there? Was he AD when Calipari?
Yep.
I didn't realize he had been there that long.
The Calipari job, or the Calipari hire, saved his job.
He had a baseball coach too.
I said 3 main sports.
Yeah. We got love for Mitch.
I don't, but
NFL tackle rule.
Dumbest thing ever.
they should just put flags on them.
Hip drop tackle.
It's the
What
biggest
is that?
rule change,
It's
but there's
what
other
kept
rule
Florida
change.
State out of exactly. Get rid of that.
Snap leg kept Florida State.
No, the hip drop tackle.
the snap leg.
No, the hip drop tackle caused a snap leg.
But if he would have never snapped the leg, they'd been there.
I heard AJ Hawk talk about it today, and he said, like, when you wanted to take they actually do that on the Murphy Show. That's what's great about it. Every time he introduces him, it's like AJ Hawk. You hear somebody, but he said when they took out the helmet hit, like that's a technique you can teach. Like, hey, you just don't tackle with your head. This hip drop tackle, it's all judgment on the ref.
Everything.
So you don't know
That's what everything in the NFL is, though. It's all judgment.
And they're making
Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna
the
do it.
eye in the sky referee, whatever that is going to be able now. They're going to look at
roughing
they
the passer.
can go back at looking at roughing the passer, They
Which I
can
think's
look
needed.
at some other intentional grounding.
Right.
There's some things like that they're going to be able to look at and go, no, let's relook at that. That was not intentional grounding. That was not.
Josh Allen will get more roughing the passer calls now if they're going to go back and look because that dude gets roughed all the time.
He gets smoked.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Preston Spradlin, MSU, not going anywhere, staying at Morehead State. Breaking news.
Let's go, Preston.
I think he's a really good coach.
I think that's a mistake.
He's content with what he's built. They up contract, family guy, families with wife's families, Eastern Kentucky.
I'm thinking we've talked. I think the move to Marshall would have made a lot of sense.
Marshall already hired a coach.
I know, but I'm like that kind of move.
Who? Broderick, can we think we can get Coach Spradlin on this show?
Go ahead.
Broderick Moore, you heard his name. Our athletic trainer, Bath County, great job. Friends of Preston, just text me. Source Spradlin said we were staying. So I thought
Source
that's-
Spradlin, I
yeah.
like that.
See if we can get him on this show.
All right, Preston.
I did not know the relationship. I saw his comment on here says 100% know that for a fact, but
Yeah.
now I know. I will take the
So, segment 3, other topics. It's 8:24. Do we want to talk about the other topics?
Well, we just talked about the women's one. The only thing I basically had on here was the week in wrestling, and then we've got a missing the mark, and then
I'm
the
glad
fact that
Coach is here.
Wes thinks that a baker's dozen is 6.
He's an idiot. Wes is a dummy.
So last night we were at the live for the softball game against Clark, and every time Riley Martin would strike somebody out, I'd be like, "That's number 5," and Wes would say, "Almost a baker's dozen." Wes, that's 13. And then what was he? And it'd go like 7 or 8. Oh, that's a dozen. No,
Nope.
Wes, the dozen's 12.
Hey, I
numbers
can tell you
are
right
hard.
now, you need to be watching your bread counts at Walmart and Kroger because
There's your loss prevention right
bread
there.
monkey is raping you when it comes to these dozens and baker's dozens on bread racks. That's for sure.
Broderick says he's a great guy and he will try his best.
Saw him and his boy at Rupp. in the ice cream line.
Preston.
So this week in wrestling, the biggest thing, we got to see the final boss Rock, which is my favorite version of The Rock ever. And I'm so excited for WrestleMania. Moving
He
on.
beat the crap out of Cody last night.
Cody.
Did he really drop the F-bomb?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Not on a live mic, but yeah, you.
Cody has, or the Rock is such a, he now gets to say whatever he wants to. He just has to submit it. So that.
But he submits it to himself, though, right?
No, well,
because he's the boss.
He submits it to the networks. So the networks know when they need to bleep. They tell him you can say whatever you want to.
Delayed, kind of like delayed.
So they know when to bleep. He just can't go off script. Missing the mark.
I mean, with that kind of thing, MGAF.
I've only been saying it for a year.
How broke is the education system, Coach?
What? Give me in terms of what you're talking about. Give me
It's a broken system in terms of there is, back in the day, and, Sean is much older than us, but they had paddling in school when Sean was there.
Pizza's why he's such a great guy.
Andy Griffith. It used to be, the kids misbehaving, the kids doing this, and it's not that it's the teacher's fault. It's the administration's fault. It's like, so we've become too, as a society, we've become too like passive, and we got kids that have no respect for anybody.
Yeah.
And what's happening, and where I'm getting to is it's getting so bad, and so you're getting these, you're getting this lack of respect. I won't even call it disrespect. It's a lack of respect. But then you have state and federal guidelines that come in that require you to do more, and more. That's why there's a mass exodus right now in education. Like, there's teachers leaving hand over fist, and we can't fill those spots. For example, the last 2 days, we've had 23 absences in teachers. For the district today, we had 61 teachers out. We don't have that many subs.
No.
And spring break's next week.
And the rest of the week don't look great.
The education system is definitely different from when I went, obviously from when you guys went.
Hey, you easy. I went when you went.
That is true. I was talking about more crowds, Sean.
Yeah.
How old are you? You never told me.
74.
34 plus 34.
I'm 48.
68.
68.
68. Yeah. The education system broke. I couldn't even do that math. There's just so many rules and guidelines people have to follow. I'm just telling you right now, it's harder now to be a teacher because rules from the state guidelines, federal guidelines say you have to do this, and this, just like you said. And then I don't want to say handcuffs teachers and administration necessarily, but it puts more it puts more burden on the teachers and gives more leeway to the kids.
Because now, I've said this on the show a lot, with everything else, especially in the sports world, money drives everything. And unfortunately, a lot of times students are looked at in school buildings as dollar signs. We need these kids here because we get X number of dollars.
$4,200 for seat money.
There you go.
Yeah, per kid. So that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And now you have open borders that you can go,
We're not talking about that in Texas.
not athletics.
Personally, I'm a fan of open borders.
Nothing wrong with it.
I
Yeah.
think it should be up to the parents where the kids go.
I mean, if I want to take my kid every day to Warren Central,
Let them go.
I mean, heck, you got kids in 3 different schools.
I do.
Boss
Three different
move.
counties.
Your superintendent billboard in Mount Sterling, come to Collier County.
I got pictures of it.
That's where I live up down that subdivision. Boss move.
If you drive down Wynn Street, you see a hometown proud Clark County sign in my front yard.
At a certain extent with education, I do think that we're hurting kids and it's not setting them up the best we can for life. But at the same time, we've got to quit pushing tests. We've got to quit pushing standardized assessments because the real world is not standardized tests and assessments.
We're not preparing kids anymore for the real world.
Absolutely not.
I mean, Neil, we had a conversation a few weeks back that the COVID year,
Yes.
you've got kids in your school that can't read and write because in the COVID year they sat at home and their parents either didn't force them, have them do their homework, didn't help them, But I mean, you got kids that are 6th, 7th grade that cannot read and write.
And that was just a difficult year, and I really hate it. But but also we've got to quit pushing college. We've got to start pushing trade schools. And
the fact of the matter is, some kids don't need to go to school at all. They need to go out and go to manufacturing, and we need that.
Yeah.
And even doctors need plumbers. Even doctors need electricians. Trade schools are great, and we as in this country, we have to do better taking care of our teachers, taking care of our students, do the best possible job we can so that our country doesn't go backwards. It continues to go forward. Collier 24 Senate.
Well, here's the thing, and just to piggyback off, yes, they need, but those people that you just mentioned that need the electricians and the plumbers and they also need people that are out here fixing the roads.
Absolutely, 100%.
They need people that are picking up our trash. Like some of these jobs that we look down on as a society, not us in particular, but us as a society, like garbage. No, we need them.
And that's good, honest work.
That's good, honest work.
Yes.
I worked for the road department for a summer, a little longer than a summer. Bro, that's hard work. We need people to fix these roads. And I can't tell you the number of times that we'd be out, filling potholes, people would stop and say, thank you. This has been really bad. Thank you all for fixing that.
We spent in Winchester Municipal Utilities spent better part of a year. You had crews that worked for the water side that couldn't do what they needed to do for water, sanitary, camera inspections, hydrant flushes, so on and so forth, because they were driving trash trucks because they only had 2 trash truck drivers.
Yep.
I was kind of taken back when we had just a couple weeks ago, we had 2 guys on the show, and one was going to school to be a welder and the other one was going to school to be an electrician.
It's awesome.
Well, and it's, to get off my soapbox, if you're out there and get involved, with your school system, go volunteer, sign up to be a sub. We're doing all we can, but I have the past 2 days, I've had to cover content classes that aren't my content. Newsflash, I'm not an English teacher. Today, your kid didn't get very good English instruction, okay?
And it's
because we don't have enough substitute teachers.
And that only hurts the kid.
Yep.
And your back.
I am right, because I sit in a chair all day and I'm not used to that. I am a behavior specialist is what I do a lot of times. So if I'm having to be in a classroom, then I can't help little Johnny, who is in a class with little Timmy, who disrupts and does all the stuff. I can't come get little Timmy and take him out, talk to him, and get him back in class. So he disrupts everybody's it's a snowball effect. So we just need help.
But also, I think you got to help ask Frankfurt for that.
Yes.
Not to get into politics, but we have to have help from the top down if you want the best for your kids.
Yeah. So,
You know what they need? They need the candle guy back in the house, aka Red Lee.
The who?
Candle guy back in the house.
Which his team, UNC, is still in the tournament. So Coach Davis greater than Coach Cal.
One thing I wanted to add, because you said something about quitting forcing people into college. A lot of these kids are having to figure this out on their own. My daughter, my youngest, wanted to go to EKU. She wanted the college experience. I tried to explain to her, you're probably just making a financial bad mistake. But she goes to Eastern. 3/4 of the way through the first semester, she figures out that she's going to spend 4 years at Eastern and not be able to go into the field that she wanted to go into. She was going to have to roll into another school to actually take those classes for that. And she made that decision or that discovery early on. So transfers out and into BCTC into the spring to go straight to the classes that she needs to take in order to be able in the field that she's want. And she's going to be out and working before she would ever even be done at Eastern. and then have to roll into another school.
Absolutely.
All we do is make these kids go into debt.
Absolutely. And Neil, you get to attest to this. You had to go to school to get your degree.
I did.
Now everybody can option 6 it.
Well, full disclosure, I was in option 6.
I was option 6 MAT program.
Yeah, me too.
But like
I was in option 6 so long that it became option 9 because I ran out of option 6 time.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean option 6. I meant like there was a you can come out of high school and not have to go to college and go right into it without even. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Not even like you didn't have to have any college hours
Right.
now. So it's
I mean, we have full-time sub positions in our district that you just have to be 21.
that's what I was getting at. Option
You're-
6. I did option
why?
6 in MAT.
Any school district around, log into the, and I'm sure you can get a job right now.
I thought you liked making money.
I do, but I'd also like school schedule. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, that was an interesting show.
It was something, that's for sure.
So how do y'all feel about
37
John
goes down
Calipari?
in the record books.
I'm glad he's rehired.
I'm glad John Calipari is
I'm glad he's
rehired.
better. I don't
Greatest
think
coach
it's, I don't think it's
that
anybody
ever
better.
had.
No, Steve, nobody said that. Nobody said that.
Not those particular terms. but-
How did I say that he was the greatest coach Kentucky ever had? I just compared his Rick Pitino, who everybody says is the gold standard. I compared his first 8 years to Rick Pitino's 8 years, and I would argue that John Calipari had better numbers. So we found out ego is the one problem John Calipari has.
Yep.
And Duke sucks. We found that out.
Nope.
What did I
They're
say?
still playing.
No, what? And
You said they're the gold
they're
standard.
the gold standard of college basketball.
Right now, we can't get into this. We don't have another hour.
Nope.
And that's a wrap. Hey, don't forget,
Since 1990, it's Duke.
subscribe. 99 cents a month. Go subscribe to us. Subscribe to us. 99 cents a month on Facebook. When we get to 25, you're going to unlock content that you've never seen before.
And with me, that's saying a whole heck of a lot.
Right. So,
More raw, more unfiltered.
thanks everybody for tuning in to
We
another
like it
episode
raw.
of the From Corner to Corner podcast.
Whoa.
Coach, thanks for coming and sprinkling your presence here.
Oh, easy. I thought I felt something in my eye.
Coach Josh Quillen loves the shirt. He is selling those, Josh, for $29.95 if you want to buy.
Actually, he's selling them for $20.99. 99 cents is actually going, you'll subscribe to our page.
You subscribe to this page for 99 cents. This shirt's in the mail tomorrow.
There you go.
Sweepstakes, even.
There you go.
Ball is in your court, Josh Quillen.
By the way, if you haven't, go listen to Fajitas and Queso episode from last week. You will be highly entertained.
Fajitas and Quiso.
Vaginas.
It is Fajitas and Queso,
Fajitas
and you'll
Quiso.
find out why I said that. In other news, stay safe, friends.
Splat.